Good morning, everyone. So I'm just opening up the chat room a little bit early so that we can all just get settled. Oh, it's dark in here today. Hi, Jenny. All right, today we are going to do a practice of happy hips. So I've had some rather unhappy hips, some tension through my pelvis. And I'm sure if I'm feeling that, there's somebody else in the yoga world who's feeling that too. So I'm just setting my environment, and I encourage you to do the same. That doesn't mean you have to light incense, but that's what I'm going to do. So just finding your place of practice this morning where you want to be, what feels comfortable to you. So of course you need a yoga mat. I think that's Julia. Is that Julia? JC? Okay, so I know most of us don't have yoga blocks, but if you do, wonderful. You'll know if you've been following along with me that I think they're probably outside of the yoga mat. They're like pretty much the best thing that you can do. Obviously, yoga blocks are the most versatile, but if you don't have yoga blocks, that's okay. Anything that brings the ground up to you will work perfectly. So having a set of books that are of equal height, or I don't even know, you could use 2 boxes of pasta, or you could use some tin cans, whatever works for you. Just make sure that you find something, especially for those of us like myself that spend a lot of time into our lower back. Having a set of yoga blocks is our way of bringing the ground up to us so that our pelvis can tilt forward and we can take the pressure out of our lower back. So being on tented fingers is helpful. Having blocks, it's just a really nice, I'm going to say modification. Good morning, Patty. It's just a really nice modification, something that helps. The other thing I'm going to recommend is that you have some sort of yoga strap with you today. Of course, lots of things will work. I just walked past my stack of dog leashes. That would work, but so would, you know, a housecoat tie or a belt or anything. We're gonna do some stretching into the lower back, working out the back of our hamstrings this morning. So a strap will be helpful for that. But if you don't have time to go get a strap, or you don't want to, or you miss this cue, then of course you can just grab onto whatever you grab onto. This is your yoga practice, and there are some really beautiful things about practicing online, which is you don't have to get in your car, you don't have to, you know, get onto your bicycle or take the metro to your yoga class. You get to do it from the confines and the safety and the comfort of your own home. However, of course, all you can do is hear my voice and see me. So I don't have an opportunity to support you with hands-on or notice what you're doing. So I want you to listen to the voice in your own head, the one that tells you what's feeling okay and what isn't. So despite whatever I'm saying, I want you to listen to that line for you. Good morning, Anne. So do what feels good to you. I will be cueing as many modifications as I can throughout the practice, but ultimately you get to choose that. So if you're just joining me now, I would recommend get nice and comfy. We're gonna start on our backs today. I won't be playing music in the room, so feel free to play music in your room. And I can't guarantee that the dog won't come traipsing across my yoga mat, or one of 3 teenagers isn't gonna come running down. So that's life. Starting on your back, start in Shavasana. So lie nice, take up lots of space on your yoga mat. Take your heels to either side of your yoga mat. Let your toes fall out to the side. Give us a slight gentle tuck of your shoulder blades under your back body. Open up your palms to the ceiling. Good morning, Karen. Or bend your elbows and just let your hands rest on your belly. If you're just joining me now, I'm going to recommend that you take hold of a strap or something that you can use as a strap. Good morning. Hi. If you have sensitive knees, or you get cold, or you have a tight pelvis, it's also really nice to use a folded blanket. Okay, so this is really nice, not to sit on, but to sit on the edge of it. So when you sit on the edge of it, it works the same way that using blocks is it tilts your pelvis forward and it prevents you from dumping so much into your lower back. So feel free to start your practice this morning on your back with a blanket over top of you. Keep a set of socks nearby. Get nice and warm. Just a couple more minutes before we start, but you get to start right now. So if you're just joining me, start on your back. Today we're going to do quite a bit of opening into the hips, primarily focusing on not just our hip flexors, but our rotators, finding the balance between strength and opening, effort and ease, static and dynamic movement, all of those things. I encourage you to listen to the sound of your own voice this morning in practice. Yes, I'm also walking 10, 12 times a day. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you for joining me. Is it Al Nasir? Is that right? You'll have to send me a message. I love that you've been joining us lately in practice. I think that I said your name wrong, but you'll let me know. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining me, a yoga strap would be wonderful. A set of yoga blocks or something similar is fantastic. Perfect. All right, good. I said it right. And a yoga strap. Starting on your back in Shavasana, or if that's a little too much stress on your lower back, then go ahead and bend your knees, taking your feet nice and wide and just letting your knees knock together. Bending your elbows, just putting my hair up, resting your hands on your belly or opening up to the side. Paul's in the corner here doing yoga. I couldn't encourage him into the room today. He did a bunch of landscaping yesterday, and I think he might spend most of his time in child's pose today, which is totally fine. Perfect. Okay, so wherever you are today, whatever you're doing, it's the perfect practice for you. Starting on your back, just making sure that your strap is close by. If you don't have a strap, it's fine, we can modify. If you don't have a house coat tie or a belt and you don't feel like going to get it, that's okay too. So take up lots of space. Closing your eyes. Just noticing where you're at this morning. Breathing in and out through your nose. Feeling your body settle down into your yoga mat. And take the shape that feels best to you this morning. If it's comfortable, feel free to put your right hand on your belly and bend your elbow and place your left hand on your heart. And as each breath goes in and out of your body, start to encourage your breath to go a little bit deeper down your body, into your lower ribs, into your belly. Gently drawing more awareness into your breath. And when you're ready, bend your knees if they're not already, and just place them nice and wide on your yoga mat, letting your knees knock in. And taking your hands, interlacing your palms, pressing them above your face, rooting your back body into the ground and pressing out through your wrists, pressing your palms towards the ceiling. And inhaling, letting your hands drift over top of your head, all the way until they're laying on the mat above your head. Stretching your feet out one at a time, zipping your legs up, bringing the inseam of your pants together, pressing out through your toes, reaching out through your fingertips. Inhaling, letting your ribs come towards the ceiling, and exhaling, releasing the stretch. One more time, taking a deep inhale, pressing out through the balls of your feet, extending your palms above your head. Let your lower back come away from the ground. Inhaling, and as you exhale, let it go through your mouth. Walk one foot in, then the other, drawing both your knees into your chest. Interlace your arms in front of your shins and gently take a rock from side to side. Lengthening your tailbone towards the front of your mat, drawing your knees in towards your armpits. And extending your left leg out straight all the way down to the ground. Take your bent right knee and allow it to come all the way across your body to release onto the floor on the left-hand side. Resting your left palm on top of your right knee, extend your right arm out to the right. An option to look up to the ceiling or draw your gaze over to the right-hand side. Breathing deeply into your right side ribs. Let it be slow and juicy. One more deep breath in and exhale through your nose. And then drawing your knee back into your chest. If you have a strap, bending your left knee, putting the sole of your foot down, and then reaching up and placing your strap over the ball of your right foot. Extending your foot with a bent knee all the way towards the ceiling. And if you don't have a strap with you, you can just reach up with your hands to the back of your thigh or to the back of your shin. But if you want to pop up and get a house cut tie or a belt, something like that, it'll work well for you. So rooting both your hips strongly into the ground, bending your knees so you're not overstretching the back of your hamstring. Draw your arms all the way down so your elbows are on the ground, and just gently draw your toe of your right foot towards your face. Keeping your lower back on the ground. And feel free to just create some little bit of rocking from side to side. So if your leg is really tight and you're all the way back with your heel towards the front of your mat, bend your knee more. And see if you can bend it enough so that you're floating your heel above your right hip. All right? Just do the best that you can. And if you have the space and the length, extend your left leg all the way forward towards the front of the mat and flex both of your feet. Gently drawing your toes towards your face, any amount. And breathing deeply into your belly. One more breath, maybe drawing your toes a little closer to your face. Transferring your strap into your right hand, letting your left hand go out to the side. Allow your right hip to open up to the right. Take your right leg all the way out to the right. Make that movement as big or as small as it feels comfortable. Adjust your hand and your strap so you're not putting tension into your right shoulder. Keep your knee nice and bent. Your right knee might be all the way up into your armpit, and that's okay. And if you're just holding onto your leg, then just hold onto your inner thigh and just let it come out until it's comfortable. Breathing deeply into your groin muscle. And if your left hip is floating up off the ground, then gently just take your left hand and tack it back down any amount. Breathing deeply. On your next inhale, drawing your right foot up, switching hands on your strap and allowing your right leg to come across your body any amount. Two ways to do this. If you keep your right hip tacking into the ground, you'll feel the stretch all the way down the outer side of your right calf and the outer side of your right thigh. If you let your hip come all the way off the ground, you're going to feel the stretch differently. So you find what feels best for you today. Bending your knees so that your heel is coming ahead of your hips. Keeping your gaze to the ceiling. One more deep breath. Inhale, draw your leg back to center and place your hand on either side of your strap, taking your elbows nice and wide and allowing your foot to slide in your strap all the way to the right-hand side. And then inhaling back to center, exhaling all the way over to the left. Let it be dynamic. Keep it moving at your own pace, inhaling to center, exhaling as it goes to each side. Keep going for 4 more rounds. Keeping your knee nice and bent, flexing your right foot and your left. Keep going, waking up your hips, letting them know that we're going to be weight bearing. And inhaling for your last time, bringing it to center. Bend your left knee, put the sole of your foot down. Allow your strap to come off your toe and bend your right knee, resting your right ankle over top of your left into figure 4. Option to gently press your right knee away from you if your knees are tricky, or reaching through with both your hands to the back of your left thigh and gently drawing your left knee towards your chest. Flex both of your feet and gently draw your right knee away from your body with your right elbow. Let your tailbone lengthen towards the front of your mat. Take all the tension out of your neck and your shoulders. Draw your left knee a little closer. And then release your left foot to the mat. And just listen to what I'm about to say. Keeping your foot in figure 4, allow your left knee to open to the left and allow your right foot to come all the way down towards the ground. Your right hip is going to come up off the ground as you do so. And it's a big stretch. So if this is too much for you, just modify it. Option to gently open up your right knee towards the front of your mat. Keeping your gaze to the ceiling. Feeling the stretch all the way down the front of your right groin, your right hip flexor. Inhale, bringing your leg back to center, releasing your right foot. Taking a hold of your strap and extending your left foot up, putting the strap across the ball of your foot, and gently start to extend your left heel towards the ceiling. Letting your elbows go all the way back down to the mat, bending your left knee any amount, flexing your left foot, and gently drawing your left toes towards your face any amount. If you have the space, feel free to extend your right heel, lengthening your right leg towards the front of your mat. Keeping your tailbone on the ground, lengthening towards the front of your mat. 2 more deep breaths in and out through your nose. Transferring your strap to your left hand, allowing your left leg to open up all the way to the left-hand side, placing your right hand out to the right, palm down, anchoring your body. Feeling your right hip tacking down into the ground, flexing your right foot, feeling the strength of your right leg. And if your right hip is rolling up, feel free to use your right hand to just tack it back down, opening up your left hip any amount. Breathing nice and deep. Inhale your left leg up to center, switching hands on the strap. Left arm goes out to the side and allowing your left leg to come all the way across the body any amount. Keeping your left foot flexed. If you're like me, you've been walking a ton, and I can feel it all the way down the set of muscles down the outside of your left calf. Those are called your peroneals. Breathing deep, broadening through your collarbones. Inhaling, bringing your leg back to center, opening up your strap, taking your hands nice and wide, tacking your elbows back down, and then allowing your foot to slide open. Exhaling as you bring it all the way to the left. Inhaling as you bring it up over top of your face, and exhaling as it goes across the body to the other side. Let it be as juicy as you want. Let your hips open up and rock open a little bit more than you did in the first part of the stretch. Keep going for 3 more rounds. Last one, all the way across. And then bring it up to center, bending your right knee, place the sole of your right foot down, release the strap from your foot, bend your knee, place your ankle in figure 4 over top of your right thigh, either pressing your left knee away gently or drawing your hands behind your right thigh and bringing your right knee in towards your chest. Flex both your feet and gently draw your left knee away from you with your left elbow. Making sure your neck and your jaw are comfortable. Keeping your lower back on the ground. 2 more breaths. Releasing your right knee back to the ground. Unwind both feet and draw both of your knees into your chest, letting your knees go all the way into your armpits, nice and wide, and just rocking from side to side. And when you're ready, letting your body roll to the side, pressing all the way up, excuse me, Bodhi, and coming to sit in a nice cross-legged seated position. So this is called Sukhasana, or easy pose, and it's not easy for everybody. But what I find is easiest is when you bring your knees nice and wide and you allow your feet to sit one in front of the other. So instead of sitting like a typical cross-legged, like in kindergarten class, taking your arms all the way out, palms onto your knees, inhaling, sitting up nice and straight, broadening your collarbones to the sky, and exhaling, rolling back on your hips, drawing your chin to your chest, belly button to your spine. Using your hands resisting on the front of your knees, and then inhaling, rocking forward, expanding through the chest, lifting your gaze, and then exhaling all the way back. Small motion, small movement. Keep going back and forth. Feeling your hips rolling back, belly button to spine, chin to your chest. Feeling the stretch through your shoulder blades, and then inhaling, coming forward, broadening all the way through the chest. And releasing, walking your right hands out to the right, inhaling your left arms up and over top of your head. Tacking your left hip down, pressing up through your left fingertips, keeping your neck in alignment with your spine, reaching a little bit more. Side bending, letting your right elbow bend, and then inhaling up, left hand down, right hand up and over top of your head. Finding the space in your right rib cage, reaching, separating all your fingertips, palm wide. And then going back and forth, letting it be dynamic, right hand down, left hand up and over top of your head. Reaching all the way back, inhaling to center, exhaling other side. Keep going at your own pace, back and forth. Keeping your hips tacked down so that you feel the opening all the way from the hip, all the way up, the rib cage, across the shoulder, into the fingertips. One more on each side. Last timing, inhaling to center, place your right hand on the outside of your left knee, walk your left hand behind you. Inhaling for length, exhaling, twisting all the way to the left. Stacking your head over top of your hips, keeping your elbows nice and light. Option to look straight ahead or take your gaze all the way to the left. Inhaling for a little more length, exhaling, opening up even more to the left. Bring your gaze back to center, release the stretch. Bring your left hand over to your right, walk your right hand behind you. Inhaling for length, exhaling, opening up to the right. Using your hand on your knee to leverage open just a little more. Inhaling again, exhaling, even more to the right. Bring your gaze back to center, releasing the stretch, and this time coming up onto your fingertips, walking your hands forward. Going as far forward as you can while keeping your tailbone or your sitting bones on the floor. Reaching forward with your fingertips, and you found as much length as you can, releasing your head between your biceps. Breathing into your back body. Feeling your sitting bones reaching towards the earth, drawing forward all the way into your fingertips. 2 more breaths, in and out through your nose. And then walking your hands back, and then coming back into hands and knees. Coming into tabletop position. Excuse me, Bodhi. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Separate all your fingers. Wrist creases are parallel with the front of the mat. Press down into the tops of your feet, going into cat and cow. Releasing your belly to the mat. Inhaling, looking forward, broadening through your collarbones, looking up. Exhaling, pressing into your knees, pressing into your hands. Belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhaling, dropping your belly, looking forward into cow. Exhaling, pressing into your hands, chin to chest, feeling the opening between your shoulder blades, and going back and forth at your own pace. Inhaling to open, exhaling to press down. 5 more rounds at your own pace. Taking the time to properly open up your body so that when we get into the flow, your body is ready to move. Feeling the articulation through every single one of your vertebrae as you move back and forth between cat and cow. 2 more rounds. Coming to stillness, looking straight ahead, and then looking over your right shoulder all the way past your right hip, side bending to the right. Inhaling back to neutral, exhaling, looking all the way back to the left. Coming back to neutral, firmly pressing into your left palm, inhaling, sweeping your right palm up and over top of your head, pressing down into your shins, into your left hand, reaching up with your right arm, and then exhaling, letting your right hand go all the way under your left arm, hovering over the ground. Inhale, sweeping it up, reaching, looking up. Exhale, bringing your hand right underneath, all the way through to the left to hover. Inhaling, all the way up. Exhaling, this time bring it all the way through, landing your back of your hand down, resting on your right temple. Option to come up onto your left fingertips or extend your left hand straight up from your shoulder. Breathing deeply all the way down the left side of your body. Opening up. Bringing your left palm down, pressing down, coming back into tabletop, firmly rooting into your right hand, inhaling, sweeping your left arm up. Reaching up, exhale, left hand goes underneath your right, all the way through to the other side. Inhaling, sweeping up, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, all the way through. Inhaling, this time reaching up just a little more. Exhale, left hand goes all the way through. Back of your hand down, all the way down onto your left temple. Coming onto your right fingertips or extending your right arm up and over top of your head. Allowing your right arm to open up any amount. Breathing deeply all the way through your belly. Releasing your right hand down, coming back. And now coming back to tabletop, walk your hands around so that your fingertips are facing your body, going into a wrist stretch, and maybe even just walking your knees in a little bit closer. So you've walked around so that your fingertips are facing your body, tuck your toes, and then sitting back onto your heels, stretching out the front of your forearms any amount. And if you're really tight, you're going to want to walk your knees in just a little closer. Releasing your neck and your shoulders, feeling the stretch all the way down. And if you're way up here and your palms aren't anywhere close, this is just a sign to you that this is something that your body's going to want you to do often. And if you find in yoga that your wrists are sore, just recognize that it's a balance between opening up your forearm muscles and strengthening. So being on your wrists and really working towards strengthening them is the way that you keep your wrists nice and strong. I mean, that's even true even if you have arthritis. So work with what you've got, but just find any opening that you can. Releasing the stretch and then flipping your hands the other way, back to your palms down, fingers still pointing towards you, the awkward way, and then sitting back any amount. Keeping your fingers nice and wide. Then sitting back onto your heels, and if you can, keeping your toes tucked so you can stretch out your feet. Just give your wrists a little stretch, or a little shake rather. Hold on to your right wrist, do some rotations on the right, and then switch and go to the left. Perfect. All right, coming back down, planting your hands nice and wide across your shoulders, tucking your toes, and inhale, exhale, bend your hips back, coming into your first downward facing dog. Keeping your feet hip distance apart, knees nice and bent. Wrist creases parallel with the front of the mat, and walking your dog from one side to the other, lengthening your heel towards the ground, straightening your other leg, and then switching, going to the other side, opening up. Resting your head between your biceps, bending your knees enough so that you're one long line all the way from your fingertips to your sitting bones into an inversion. Settling your dog, letting both of your heels come back, bending your knees any amount, take a peek forward, and then start to wave your body forward into plank pose. Now coming into plank pose, if immediately you find that this is too much, you can release your knees to the mat. If you have your knees to the mat, you are one long line from your knees all the way to your crown. Otherwise, lift your knees, stay nice and strong in your plank, pressing back through your heels, reaching forward through your crown. Wrists are right underneath your shoulders, belly button to spine, feel the shake. Couple more breaths. No sinking through the hips. Lift your hips up a bit. One more breath. Releasing your knees to the mat, untuck your toes and lower down to one long line. As soon as you get down, bring your hands next to your face. Take your feet hip distance apart. Toss your feet down. Inhale, exhale, press down into your feet. Lift your upper body. Floating your hands off the ground, looping your shoulders back and down your back. One more breath. Using your muscles of your back body to lift your body any amount. And exhale, release down, placing your hands next to your shoulders, come back through tabletop and lift to downward facing dog. Looking forward, walk your feet towards your hands to the front of your mat, feet are hip distance apart, and release down into a forward fold. Keeping your knees nice and bent, taking all the pressure out of your back. Option to have your hands on tented fingers or even releasing them to your blocks. So having your blocks at the front of your mat. Breathing deeply all the way into your back body. And one vertebra at a time, start to walk your hands up your legs, coming all the way to stand. Your head is the last to rise. Bring your head up, and as soon as you get up, press down into your feet, lift your arms all the way up over top of your head, look up, palms together, exhale all the way to heart center. Close your eyes. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. Pressing down into your feet, feeling all four corners of your feet firmly rooted into the mat, lifting up through your arches, engaging the front of your thighs, lifting your kneecaps, broadening through the collarbone, tailbone lengthening down, crown lifting. Noticing how you feel. Starting to move, release your arms, inhale them up and over top of your head, look up. Exhale to fold, bend your knees all the way down. Coming into half back, hands to your shins, bend your knees, one long line, all the way from the tip of your crown to your tailbone. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Come all the way up, reach up. Look up, exhale, hands to heart center, keep folding all the way down, releasing your head. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Keep going, feeling every motion. Exhale, hands down, all the way down, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, both hands down, reach back with your right foot to the back of your mat, releasing your right knee down, untuck your toes. Take hold of your blocks. Inhale, coming forward into a modified crescent lunge. So your right leg is back, left leg forward, left leg tracking right in line with your left toes. Hips are squared in front of your mat, broadening through your collarbones. If you don't have blocks and you feel the stretch, you can put your hands in the front of your thighs, front of your left thigh. Inhale, allowing your body to rock forward, feeling the stretch all the way down the front of the right leg. Inhale, your arms up. Reach up through your fingertips, palms in. Exhale, bring your palms all the way down. Right hand goes inside of your left leg. Inhale, your left arm up and over top. So twisting gently to the left. Pressing down into your right shin, reaching up with your left hand. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Walking your left foot out to the left, bring your left palm inside your left foot into lizard. Maybe even walking your right knee back a little bit. And starting to release your body forward, either staying up on your hands if that's enough, tacking your left knee into your left shoulder, or walking them down to blocks, or all the way down to the ground. So I'm just going to turn so you can see. Deep stretch, it's called lizard. So both of your hands are inside your left leg. Holding your head up, feeling the stretch. Breathing deep, and maybe even just rocking your body from side to side. Coming up back onto your hands, walking your left hand on the outside of your foot, tucking your toes behind you, pressing into your palms, coming back to plank, releasing your knees to the mat, lowering down a one long line, bringing your hands back to your shoulders, inhaling into cobra, lifting up, pressing down. Exhale all the way down, pressing back to your tabletop and lifting to downward facing dog. Keeping your knees bent any amount. When you're ready, inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot through to right hand, releasing your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes, hands to block or bringing them up to your thighs. Modified crescent lunge on this side. Squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Allowing your left hip to open. And if you're feeling crunching or pressure into your lower back, just lift a little bit out of the forward stretch. So lift up through your lower body. Or raise your upper body up, both of which will work. Releasing forward as much as it feels comfortable for you. And inhale your arms up, reaching up through your fingertips, drawing up through your lower body. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center and then release your left palm down in front of your right and inhale your right arm up and over top. Gentle stretch and opening to the right hand side. Keeping your lower body tracking forward. Breathing deeply all the way through the chest. Exhale, bring your right hand down, walking your right foot out to the right side of your mat, bringing both hands inside your right knee, keeping your right knee in contact with your right shoulder, leaning forward into lizard, and releasing your arms down to blocks or all the way down onto the ground. Feeling a deep stretch all the way down through the left hip. Keeping that right knee in contact with your right shoulder. Breathing deep. Inhaling, moving your blocks from side to side, walking your foot in, hands on other side, tucking your left toes and springing forward to the front of your mat into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan, all the way up, look up. Exhale to fold, all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, both hands down, step back with both your feet to plank. Releasing your knees to the mat, all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Come back through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, right foot through to right hand. Warrior two, release your left foot to the mat on a 90-degree angle. Inhale, your left arm up, over and back, releasing into warrior two. So this is an open hip posture. Your hip is opening to the left side of your mat. Your right knee is bending towards 90 degrees, pressing firmly back with the left straight leg onto the outer side of your left foot. Right arm forward, gaze is over top of your right fingertips. Deepening down into the pose, releasing the pressure through your shoulders. Exhale, release your right knee to your right elbow to your right knee. Inhale your left arm up and over top of your head. Option to bring your hand all the way down to blocks or to the ground. Extended side angle. Pressing back to your left outer foot, all the way to your left fingertips. Very little weight into your right elbow. Keeping your legs stable. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand back and over top of your head. Pressing into your right knee. Feeling the stretch. Inhale back to warrior two. Straightening your right leg. Sliding forward, reaching forward with your right fingertips. And when you get as far as you can go, releasing your right hand down to your shin, your thigh, the floor, a block, into triangle. Reach your left arm up and over top. Spin your gaze forward or up towards your left hand. Both legs are straight. Lengthening your right side body, reaching your crown forward. Bending your right knee, coming back into warrior two. Finding your warrior, looking forward, and then windmill your left arm forward, both hands back on either side of your foot. Step back to plank. Either release your knees to the mat and go down a one long line to cobra, or tip forward, go through chaturanga, halfway down, flip your feet, inhale to upward dog. Exhale all the way back to downward facing dog. Deep breath. Your option when we do vinyasa to skip it, to come into child's pose, to go down on your knees in one long line into cobra or baby cobra, then back through tabletop to downward facing dog. Or you can come with me when I'm doing it full chaturanga, inhaling to upward facing dog, exhaling to downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left foot through to left hand. Spin your back heel down on 90-degree angle and inhale your right arm up and back. Take the time to get your foundation right. If you need to adjust your feet, adjust your feet. Opening your hips to the right. Left knee tracking forward with your left toes. Gaze is forward. Go a little deeper. Exhale, release your left elbow to your left knee. Inhale your right arm over. Whatever you did on the other side, do on this side. So hand option to go all the way to the ground. Find the space. Pressing back into your right outer foot. Reaching forward with your right fingertips. Lower body stays where it's at. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Reach back with your left hand. Pressing into your right knee still, left knee. Inhale back to warrior two, straightening your left leg. Stretching forward with your left arm. When you've gone as far as you can, releasing into triangle. To your shin, to your calf, to the floor, reaching your right hand up and over top of your head. Spinning your gaze forward to the side of your mat or all the way up to your right fingertips. Bending your left knee, coming back to warrior two. Exhaling, spinning your hands down on either side of your left foot, stepping back to plank and going through your vinyasa. Take your time, all the way back. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale your right foot through to your right hand. This time we're coming into high lunge, so keep your feet on train tracks. So try not to line your feet up. When you've got your foundation right, press into your legs, lift your upper body, taking your hands to your hips. Looking forward to the front of your mat, being high on the ball of your left foot. So your heel should be directly over top of your left toes, pressing firmly into your back leg, bending into your right knee. And when you've got that firm, inhaling your arms up. Relaxing your shoulders, but reaching up through your fingertips. If you feel tight in your shoulders, just widen all the way through your hands. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center, then release them behind your back. Interlace your palms, pressing your index fingers towards the ground. Inhale for length. Exhale, releasing all the way forward. Crowning your head inside your right leg into humble warrior. Releasing your hands up and over top of your head. Feeling the strength of your legs. 2 more breaths. You got it. Find your legs, hinge your body up, coming all the way back up. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, coming forward, left elbow on the outside of your right knee, pressing in and opening up your body to the right hand side. Palms together, stacking your right shoulder on top of your left, spinning your body open to the right. Staying firm in your legs, reaching your crown forward, releasing the twist, inhaling back up. Exhaling, hands down, stepping back to plank, going through your vinyasa, or meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left foot through the left hand. Setting up for high lunge on the left hand side, finding your legs, and then inhaling to come to center. Hands on your hips. Your hips are square to the front of your mat. Collarbones are broad. Right heel stacking over the right toes. Left knee reaching forward in line with your left toes. Inhaling your arms up, reaching up. Finding your feet, but inhaling and pressing up through your fingertips. Exhale, hands to heart center, bringing your hands behind you, interlacing the opposite way. Index fingers pressing down. Inhaling for length. Exhaling, humble warrior. Hinging forward, bringing your shoulders inside your left knee. Releasing your hands up and over top of your head. Finding your feet. 2 more breaths. Inhale, press into your feet, unhinge, come all the way up. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hinging forward, right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Pressing your palms together, spinning your body open to the left-hand side. Palms are coming towards your heart. Pressing firmly back through your right toes. Reaching forward with your crown. Finding your feet. 1 more breath. Releasing the twist, coming back to center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hands down, either side. Step back to plank. Come through your vinyasa. And this time, releasing back to child's pose. Knees nice and wide, feet together, hips descending all the way back to your heels. So feeling like you have the length and the space in your lower back, keeping your knees nice and wide, and releasing your forehead to the mat or to your palms for 5 breaths. Reaching your hands out in front of you, still sitting in child's pose, walking your hands all the way out to the right-hand side, Reaching forward a little bit further with your left fingertips and pressing back your left sitting bone to your left heel. Releasing your head back, feeling the stretch all the way down the left-hand side. Walking your hands back to neutral and then bringing them all the way to the left. This time your right fingertips going a little further forward, pressing your right sitting bone back to your right heel and releasing your head. Walking your fingertips back to center, coming up all the way, coming forward, tucking your toes, and then rocking back till you're in a squat position. So taking the option of taking your feet nice and wide, toes are coming out, heels are closer together. And if you are up on your toes because you don't quite have the flexibility in your ankles, your calves, that's fine. Option to either stay up onto your toes or take a block or something to sit back on. So whatever's comfortable for you, just make sure that your knees are going nice and wide and you're feeling the stretch all the way through the front of your hip. If your feet go down, great. Bring your elbows inside of your knees and just gently feel the pressure between your elbows and your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Crown reaching up, broadening through the collarbones. Breathing nice and deep. Placing your right hand down firmly on the ground, inside your right knee. Inhale your left arm up and over top of your head, keeping your knees wide, pressing your right elbow into your right knee and reaching up with your left fingertips. Option to look up. And if you have the space within you, option to bring your right hand around your knee, reach back, holding on to your left wrist with your right hand, spinning your body open to the left-hand side. Option to take this bind, and if not, staying back at the beginning. One more breath. Unwinding the stretch, bringing both hands down, planting your left hand firmly in front of your left knee, inhaling your right arm up and over top of your head. Finding the space, feeling the resistance of your left elbow into your left knee. Option to take the bind if that's available to you. Opening up. One more breath. Releasing the bind, bringing your hands back down, and then bringing your hands to heart center. Finding a little bit more length. Pressing your hands together, nice and wide through the collarbones, tailbone reaching towards the earth, crown reaching towards the sky. Close your eyes. Releasing your hands back down to the mat, rising your hips forward into a forward fold. Walking your toes in line with your heels at the back of your mat. Releasing your head all the way down. Option to take hold of opposite elbows with your hands, releasing your head between your biceps. Inhaling to halfway lift, reaching forward with your crown. Exhaling to forward fold. This time walking your hands back to downward facing dog. Finding your best down dog. So wrist creases in line with the front of your mat, pressing firmly into all 10 fingers. Feet are hip distance apart. Looking forward, walking or hopping to the front of your mat. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, reverse swan all the way up. Look up, hands together through heart center, sitting back into chair pose. So sitting into chair pose, either Feet together, knees together, or feet hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart, sitting back into your heels, nice and wide through your collarbones. Keeping your head above your heart, sitting a little deeper, feeling the shake. Exhaling, twisting to the right, left knee on the outside of your right knee, left elbow on the outside of your right knee, pressing your palms together, rotating to the right, opening up your chest. One more breath, sit a little lower, releasing the twist. Inhale your arms up over top of your head, reach up, straightening your legs, exhaling, hands through heart center, sitting back into chair. Finding your chair, going a little lower. Inhaling, then exhaling, twist to the left. Right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Pressing your palms together, revolving open to the left-hand side. Sit a little lower. Feel the burn. One more breath. Releasing the twist, press into your feet, reach up, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, folding forward all the way down into forward fold. Inhaling to halfway lift, exhaling, hands down, step back to plank, going through your flow. Back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up, exhale, right foot through to right hand, warrior two. Left heel down on a 90 degrees. Opening up to the side of the mat. One breath per movement. Exhale, right elbow through to the right knee. Inhale your left arm up and over top your head. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, reaching forward with your right hand. Releasing your right hand down into triangle, reaching up with your left arm. Bending your right knee back to warrior two. Exhale, hands all the way down. Coming back to your flow or meeting in downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhaling your left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot through to left hand. Spin your right heel down. Inhale, warrior two. Calm your breath. Exhale, left elbow, left knee. Inhale your right arm up and over top of your head. Inhale, back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg, hinging forward, releasing your left foot, your left palm down, reaching up with your right into triangle. Bending your left knee back to warrior two. Exhale, spin your hands down, back to plank, going through your vinyasa and meeting into downward facing dog. Looking forward, stepping or walking to the front of your mat. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan, all the way up. Palms together, exhale, palms to heart center. Pressing your palms together, closing your eyes, feeling your heart beating, remembering why you showed up on the mat today. Releasing your hands down. Turning sideways in your mat, take a big step back with your left foot. Opening for wide-legged forward fold. So making sure that your toes and your heels are on the same line. Spinning your arms back, fingers up your spine. Elbows tacking back, inhale for length. Exhale, hinging forward. All the way down. Releasing your hands to the mat, walking your hands between your feet, bending your elbows, releasing your crown to the mat. So finding your forward fold and adjusting your feet if you feel like you need to. And if you are pressing back into the back of your knees and your hyperextender, putting a micro bend into your knees, or trying it, even if you're not someone who's hyperextending. Rocking onto your toes, coming back onto your heels, finding the sweet spot, releasing your head down even more. Lengthening your tailbone towards the sky. Walking your hands underneath your face. Inhaling to halfway lift. Coming into a twist. Planting your left arm down. Inhaling your right arm up and over top. Press down with your left palm. Reach up with your right hand. Try and find the balance of being in both your feet. One more breath. Exhale. This time bring your right hand all the way through. Reach all the way across to any part of your left leg. So whether it's your shin, your foot, your ankle, creep your left hand forward as far as you can go. Release your head between your arms. Reaching forward with your left hand, twisting using the leverage of your right hand on the outside of your left shin. Pressing back through your sitting bones. So finding the expansion in all four ways. One more deep breath in. Opening up through your shoulder blades. Walking your left hand back, pressing into your left palm, releasing your right. Place your right hand down in front of your face. Inhale your left arm, sweeping up, all the way up. Pressing into your right hand, reaching up with your left. Crown is still coming forward, sitting bones still coming back. Exhale, left arm goes underneath your right, all the way across your body. Taking hold of whatever you can on your right leg and then walking your right fingertips forward. Release your head. Finding the space. And if this is one of those stretches where you have no clue what you're supposed to be holding on to, just take hold of whatever you can take hold of. One more deep breath in. Walking your right hand back, releasing your left, coming into halfway lift. Getting into your feet, maybe just walking your feet in a little bit. Inhaling to halfway, placing your hands on your hips and inhaling all the way back up. Walking your feet in a little bit, bending into your right knee, spring forward to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up and over top of your head. Exhale to heart center. Stepping into your left foot, coming into tree. So finding the balance and the opening of your pelvis, stepping firmly into your left foot, open your right knee up to the right hand side, and either keep your foot on the inside of your ankle or step your right foot up onto your calf or above your knee on the inside of your left thigh. Squaring your hips to the front of your mat. And when you're ready, bringing your hands to heart center. Pressing firmly down into your left foot, reaching up to your crown. And if you're ready, you can grow your branches up and over top of your head. Lift your gaze any amount. Feeling the weight of your right foot pressing into your thigh and your thigh pressing into your foot. Exhale your hands to heart center. Now listen carefully. You're going to release your right foot from your thigh and you're going to place it in figure 4 over top of your left thigh. Okay, and then you're going to sit back into your left heel, squaring your hips to the front. So stay up nice and tall. Option to reach down, readjust any amount. Flex your right foot. Sit back like you're sitting in a chair, broadening your chest to the front of your mat, looking forward 4 or 5 feet in front of your mat. Sit back a little deeper. I know this is a complex one. One more breath. You got it. Press down into your feet, release the stretch, right foot down, arms overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pressing firmly into your right foot, open your left foot, finding tree pose on the opposite side, bringing your foot to rest on the inside of your thigh, calf, or ankle, squaring your hips to the front of the mat, and bringing your hands to heart center. Pressing down, lifting up. When you're ready, grow your branches any amount. Lift up out of your fingertips. Lift your gaze. It's okay if you shake. It's all right if you fall out. One more breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your left foot from the inside of your thigh. Place it across your right thigh. Flex your left foot, sit back in figure four, otherwise known as standing pigeon. Sit back into your right heel. So if we're sideways, you'll see that I almost look like I'm sitting in a chair in a perfect world. Keep your chest nice and broad, head stacking over top of your hips. Flex your left foot. Sit a little lower. For 3, for 2, for 1. Press into your right foot, release your left. Inhale your arms up over top of your head. And release all the way down, crouch back. And sit down, roll all the way onto your back. Once you get all the way back, bring your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around the front of your shins and rocking from side to side. Make sure there's lots of space between your knees. Reaching through with your hands, coming into happy baby, take hold of the outside of both your feet. Bend your knees to 90 degrees. So press your feet into your hands into your feet, and gently draw your knees nice and wide all the way into your armpits. Tailbone still lengthening towards the ground. An option to gently rock from side to side. If this isn't comfortable for you, then just take hold of the front of your shins and squeeze in, feeling the opening through your pelvis. Releasing your knees, taking your hands behind your shins and starting to roll back and forth on your spine. Coming to sit up, going into our last forward fold of the practice. This time, bringing your feet out on a wide-legged forward fold in the sitting position. And this is a good place for you to use your mat, or not your mat, rather your blanket. So when you sit on a blanket, you want to sit on the edge of the blanket because that's going to help you get out of your back body. So if you're like this, sitting on the edge of a blanket, a rolled up blanket, helps your pelvis move forward. Flex both of your feet. If you're really tight in your lower back, bend your knees as much as possible so you can get your hips going forward. Inhaling for length wherever you are. Exhaling, walking your hands forward. Flexing both your feet. Doing your best to lead with your chest. Gently tuck your chin. And you might be all the way back here, and that is awesome. Hamstrings require a long love affair. You have to sneak up on them. Inhaling for a bit of length. Exhaling to fold forward any amount. Keeping your feet active. Coming down the home stretch of your practice, so letting your breath go. Releasing your breath and whatever is most comfortable. Close your eyes. If you feel your mind wander, just do your best to kind of bring it back in. Try and stay on your mat. Inhale, walking yourself back up. Place both your hands underneath your knees, releasing your knees, and bringing the soles of your feet together. Releasing your knees out to both sides into Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. Drawing your heels towards your groin, sitting up nice and tall. Holding onto your feet, inhaling for length, exhaling, folding forward, leading with your chest, using your elbows to gently draw your knees open from side to side. Let it be dynamic. Feel your motion. Inhaling for a bit of length, exhaling to fold. Feel free to release your hands, reach forward any amount. And make your stretch passive for the last couple of breaths, releasing your head, folding forward. Inhale, walking your body back up, taking hold of either side of your knees, bringing it up, and then rolling back onto your back, all the way down. Bring both your knees into your chest. Taking your feet back to the mat, scooching your body just an inch or so to the right-hand side. Bring your knees back up and then release your knees all the way to the left-hand side. Stacking your one knee on top of the other, reaching your right arm out to the side and spinning your gaze over your right shoulder. Option to bring your left hand to the top of your stacked knees. Feeling the stretch all the way down the right-hand side of your body. Nice, deep opening. Close your eyes. Inhaling both knees back to center, placing your feet down, scooching your hips a little bit more to the left-hand side, bringing your knees in and then releasing them all the way to the right, stacking your knees, and then gently drawing your left shoulder back, palm down, opening it up to the left-hand side, bringing your gaze to center, or all the way over to the left-hand side. No two sides ever feel the same. No 2 days in practice feel the same. Three more breaths. Inhaling your knees back to center, releasing them back. An option to kind of move your body in whatever posture you would like for the last couple of minutes in practice. Try not to skip this part. I know that sometimes, especially when we're at home and nobody's watching, we're like, I'm just gonna go get started with my day. Let yourself have these last 4 or 5 minutes. This is where your body integrates everything. So I'm going to give you a couple options. If you have a block, I highly recommend that you go into legs up in the center of the room. Call it Viparati Karani, and it's really nourishing for your body. So you can bring your blocks or your block or 1 or 2 blocks underneath you, lengthwise or a book, and then inhale, one leg up, then the other, having both of your legs straight up over top of your hips, releasing your arms on either side. No effort, no energy. Closing your eyes, staying this way for a couple of minutes. And if it's not quite comfortable, feel free to bring your feet down, readjust your block or your book. If you're next to a wall, you can take your feet up the wall. And if that's not what you want to be doing right now, you can go into Supta Baddha Konasana, which is bound angle pose, lying down. And if that's the case, bring your feet together away from your groin. Nice big diamond shape with your lower body. Feels really nice to prop up your knees on either side using a blanket, block, whatever's comfortable. Bending your elbows and resting your palm on top of your belly. Whatever posture you're in, find your ease. Let your parasympathetic nervous system find a place of stillness, deeply nourishing for your mind and your body, integrating all the goodness that you did in your practice today. You're strengthening, you're centering, your flexibility, your stability, bringing it all in, deeply nourishing your hips and your heart. Option to stay in whatever posture you're in, or coming into Shavasana. Releasing your feet on either side of your mat, taking up lots of space. Let your toes roll outwards, tucking your shoulder blades gently under your back, opening your palms, and closing your eyes. Today I'm going to be reading a poem from Dana Faulds called Healing. There is healing in the laying on of hands, in the letting go of fear, in asking for help, in silence, celebration, prayer. There is healing in speaking the truth, and in keeping still, in seeking sunlight and not shunning struggle. Laughter and the affirmation of a wholeness hold their own healing. When the soul dances, when the day begins in delight, when love grows and cannot be contained, when life flows from moment to moment, healing happens in the space between thoughts and the breath before the first sung note. Healing is a birthright and a grace. When we dare to be open to the unknown, when we extend ourselves in caring, when we welcome in the vast expanse of life, healing comes from the heart and blossoms from the inside out. Option to continue to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Or start to move your fingers and toes, circling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And if you're ready, bringing the inseam of your legs together, interlacing your hands, reaching them up over top of your head, pressing through your toes, stretching a little bit longer, and exhaling and releasing. Bending your knees, drawing them in close, rolling onto your right hand side, resting your head on the inside of your right arm. And when you're ready, pressing into your left palm, keeping your eyes closed, come to sit in a nice, relaxed, cross-legged position. Resting your hands in your lap, closing your eyes. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. No judgment, no story. Just notice. With your eyes closed, extend your arms up over top of your head, reaching in all the goodness, lifting your gaze, palms together, bringing them all the way through heart center, bending at the hips, chin to chest, deeply bowing in, thanking yourself for showing up for yourself today. And from my heart to yours, Namaste. So nice to have everybody here today. Oh, it's Jenny. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Annalisa, Karen, Kathy, Mike Lannon. Hi, Robin. Oh, you are so welcome. I know that was a big one on my hips. We hold so much goodness in our hips. You are so welcome, Annalisa. I don't know that we always realize how much our physical bodies do for us, how much of our emotion and our hopes and our fears we hold there. And it is really important to find a place to put that down outside of your body. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. You have no idea how much it means to me. All right, everyone. Message me if you have any questions. Love to you all. And if you're watching this later, I love you just as much. See you, everybody.